Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Folge 12 von If My Heart Had Wings. In der letzten Folge haben Aoi und AGH weiterhin versucht, einen weiteren Member für den Soaring Club zu finden, um ihn vor der Auflösung zu bewahren, waren dabei aber weiterhin nicht erfolgreich. Abends hat Aoi wieder das Abendessen zubereitet. Währenddessen hat Kotori darauf bestanden, alleine baden zu gehen, obwohl sie das eigentlich ohne Hilfe nicht kann. Und ist scheinbar in die Badewanne gefallen und Aoi musste sie vor dem Ertrinken retten. Ich weiß nicht warum, was und warum da wirklich passiert ist, also, Schauen wir, wie es am nächsten Tag weitergeht. It went that way. Leave it to me. At AGH's signal, I ran ahead to block the cat's escape route. Oh. Sind sie jetzt zu dritt dabei? Tortoise Shell Cat? What? What? AGH and I blocked the stray cat's path and it searched for a third route. Katzen sind tatsächlich ziemlich gut darin, Hindernisse nicht auszuweichen, sondern einfach dran vorbeizulaufen. Also for real, wenn du einer Katze im Weg stehst, hoffe ich, drehen die gar nicht ab, sondern die laufen einfach zwischen deinen Beinen durch oder so, weil du damit am wenigsten rechnest. So smart sind die, ja. And there was... Come here, kitty! That was Kotori, as she made an almost sickeningly cheerful smile. See, I've got those anchovies that you like, and there are so many of them. Anchovies? Sind das nicht... wie so Bell Peppers? Wie heißt die? Paprika oder so? Ähnlich? Oder Chili schon? No, that's how to talk to a cat. Kotori dangles an anchovy, which captivates the cat. Ich hatte gerade noch Panik und war auf der Flucht, aber jetzt habe ich Essen vor mir. Meow. However, as expected of a stray cat, it won't let down its guard easily. Kotori, use the secret weapon. Kotori nods and takes out a small fishing rod. An anchovy hangs on the end of the line. Meow? Look, look! Dangled. Wow. Just like a blessing descending from heaven, the anchovy draws the stray cat's attention. With Kotori's skillful waving of the rod, she was almost literally reeling the cat towards her with the anchovy. Anchovy, ich schau das jetzt nach. Oh nein! Anchovy ist eine Fischart, oder nicht? Sardelle. Oh, boy. Ich bin smart. Come on, come on. Meow, meow. Just as the cat reaches out its paw, Kotori times the pulling away of the anchovy so that the cat cannot reach it. It really was a little bit mean. Eventually, the cat, running out of patience, used its last resort. Meow! Jump! The cat jumped up onto Kotori's lap all by itself. I've got you! Meow! Amazingly, the cat settled into Kotori's arms. Alright, the plan was a big success. I can't believe it fell for such a stupid plan. I felt like saying, come on, stray cat, you can do better than that. Nice rhymes, bro. Hehe, good kitty. Kotori shows a side that we'd never seen before, and smiles affectionately while stroking the cat. The cat seems like he didn't really enjoy being stroked, but he's focused on the large amount of anchovies nearby, so it looks like he's not planning on running away. Ja, kennt man so von denen. I'll just let you stroke me while I'm getting food. You're cute, aren't you? You're a good boy, aren't you? Meow. This cat is quite beautiful, considering he's a stray. Hello there. Agaya starts stroking him too. All girls like cats. All people like cats, except for one of my viewers. Is it okay if I stroke him too? Meow. See, this cat's not scared. We went to so much trouble to catch him, we can't let him go now. But I like cats too. This seems a bit unfair. What next? Next is open the notebook to check. Ooh. Kumo? Werde ich angerufen? Oh. Wataritai. What? Kaffee. Fraxeniku. Kaffeeflachs. Und dem Makuritai. Keine Ahnung, was Makuritai ist. Makuru. Hegun. Oh, das ist so schwer zu lesen. Ah, Hagendachi. Jetzt verstehe. Now, I open the notebook to check. Things I want to do. Ah, das ist nicht das, was im ersten steht. Ah, ich habe mich schon gewundert, es steht doch nicht Things I want to do. Aber es ist nicht das dick gedruckte, sondern das kleine darüber. Yatte okitaikoto. Darunter steht was mit Wolken. Cross some sort of cloud. Ich weiß nicht, was in der Mitte steht nach dem No. Anyway, it's the list of bullet points that Kotori has written in her notebook. First of all, stroke a cat has been completed. We are now in the middle of clearing Kotori's list of things she still has left to do. Left to do, that sounds not good. As Ageha and I look at the notebook, Kotori looks at us sideways, but not with suspicion. How did this situation occur? To answer that, we need to go back to this morning. Yes, please, I want a background. This morning I was in two minds as to whether or not I should return the withdrawal notice that I picked up to its rightful owner. Of course, you should give dropped items back to the owner, but if I did that, it seems that she would disappear from here, so I didn't give it back. If that's what she wants to do, I have no reason to stop her. But I was hesitant for some reason. So, I was walking back and forth along the hallway, but Kotori, who was wearing her uniform, poked her head out from her door. She was furtively checking the situation outside. Ah! As our eyes meet, she slams the door shut. Why is she acting so suspiciously? Kotori is always doing something suspicious, but there's definitely something behind her behavior just now. I concealed myself in the dining hall for a while. I wait 10 minutes. Hat appears from the little door at the bottom of Kotori's bedroom door, just to check, right? Hat took a look around at the entranceway, then came into the dining hall. Quack. Shh. Hat goes back to Kotori's room. There was no one there? Quack, quack. Gut, dass sie sich immer auf ihn verlässt. Alright. What does she mean by alright? Kotori came sneaking out of her room. She took a peek into the dining hall just in case, and I hide behind the counter. Looks like no one's here. If that guy catches me, he'll make such a fuss. When she says that guy, it feels like she's talking about who else? What other guy is there in that dome? Kotori is wearing her uniform, but she isn't carrying her bag. In the entranceway, she opens up her notebook and looks inside. I sneaked up behind her. Du bist in der Küche. Sie steht im Eingang zur Küche. Du schleichst dich von hinten an sie heran. How? I did this before, so today... Are you going to skip school again today? Kotori jumped glad on a screamer through the notebook. What are you doing here? But I just checked. That's why you should stop sending a duck to scout for you. As I pick up the notebook that she dropped, I look at the open page. Things I want to do. This is the page I saw before. Give my notebook back. Could it be that you are planning to do all of this before you quit school? Seems like I was spot on. I'm going to finish all the things remaining today. That's enough. Now give it back. I handed back the notebook. Then I follow Kotori as she is about to leave. Why are you following me? I'm going to help. Huh? Why? Must be tough by yourself, right? Kotori looks at me like I'm an idiot. When we stop in front of the doorbell rings. Who could it be at this time? Good morning! Ah, look who showed up uninvited again. Agea. Oh, you're both here? What did you come here for? Well, Agea pulls me towards her and whispers into my ear. Yesterday something felt a bit strange, and I thought she might start skipping school again. So she came all the way here to ask Kotori to go to school with her. Bullseye. Seriously? Yeah, the truth is that How should I explain this? Kotori, I'm just gonna borrow your notebook. I go back to Kotori and take the notebook. Hey! Using that, I explained the situation to Ageha. I explained that today she wants to finish the things I want to do list that is written in this notebook. I don't tell her about Kotori's plan to quit school. This looks like a big job. Ageha groans a little as she looks at the list. That's right, this is why I'm taking a day off school. I guess that's the only way. I'll help too. That is how Ageha and I ended up going with Kotori, against their wishes, to clear the things remaining on the list one by one. By the way, as far as us urgently searching for members for the club goes, last night we came up with a possible prospect. That's why we're going with Kotori. That's enough. Now go to school, you two, said Kotori while stroking the cat, but we don't listen. Okay, next is pedigree at Ito's house. Ageha pointed and read. Pedigree, wo steht das hier? Pudel mitai ni shite. Ah, sie möchte in einem Pool schwimmen? Stroke the head of the big dog in the neighborhood. It's really scary, but it might be unexpectedly friendly. If possible, I'd like to ride around on its back. From the list. The Ito family are rich and have a well-known and very large dog called Pedigree, that roams around freely in their garden. When we were kids, it was rare to see such big dogs, and we would often watch them lumbering around their spacious lawn. I'd like to ride around on its back. So groß ist er bestimmt auch nicht. So far I have lifted up Kotori on 2 occasions. Both times she was light as a feather. Well, perhaps that's exaggerating lightly, but she was really light. If it's Kotori, she should just about be able to do it. He's a Saint Bernard after all. Pedigree is a Saint Bernard. They're pretty huge. While seriously considering Kotori's silly idea, we headed towards the Ito's house. Whew, I started to sweat, said Ageha. She put the baggage down on the grass. But there's a breeze here, which feels good. Today is dry and sunny, and the temperature isn't that high. It's quite hot in the sunlight, but there's a nice breeze. Here, I throw a sports drink to Ageha. Oh, thanks. There's one for you too, Kotori. I take some orange juice from the convenience store bag and pass it to Kotori. Thanks. Do you want to sit down here? Huh? Ageha, give me a hand, would you? Ageha looks like she's enjoying her sports drink, gets up and comes over. What are you doing? I want to put you down here. There's no need. Oh, I see. I leave lifting up Kotori to Ageha and tell her how to do it while I give a hand from the side. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Thanks. Kotori sits down on the grass and looks comfortable as she stretches her back. My butt was getting a bit hot. It seems that wheelchairs can get quite hot in the summer. Okay, time for the lunch boxes. The time is now 12:30. It's exactly the time for lunch break. We spread out the lunch boxes that we brought and the juice and snacks we bought from the convenience store. We don't have a sheet, but it feels like we're having a picnic. Okay, let's eat. Okay. I had made mine on Kotori's lunchboxes and Ageha had brought her own. Oh, you've got a burger, Kotori. Hey, wanna trade it for my spring roll? Sure. Ooh, what happened? Alright. Ageha looks like she's enjoying the burger that she got by trading as she wolfs it down. Oh, you're good at cooking, aren't you? Makes me lose my confidence as a woman. Your mom's good at cooking though, isn't she? No, I can't be compared to a career housewife. Kotori's face seemed to say that she wasn't really suited to this situation, as she quietly ate her lunch. However, she didn't look as irritated as she was before. Ageha either hadn't noticed or was pretending not to have noticed, and carried on behaving the same way she always does. This is the first time I've skipped school. The only time I thought that I wanted to take a day off was on the day of the injection. Injection? But if you can hang out with your friends like this, maybe it's okay sometimes, said Ageha playfully. She seems quite excited about skipping school for the first time. If your mom finds out, she's totally gonna kick your ass. Oh. Ageha's mother doesn't hold back when she gives the daughters a kick in the ass. Oof. I've been kicked too, many times. Like when Ageha and I got caught playing tricks. Those kicks are big, heavy, and painful. That's why you can't tell her. Okay, got it. She kicked me too for something like this. I say that, but I don't want her to worry unnecessarily. Hey, what's next? We all look at the notebook. We managed to finish 5 of them this morning. 2 waren vorher schon abgedeckt, ne? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Stück stehen da noch offen. Also 5 minus 2 übrig. As for pedigree, the Itos recognized Ageha and they let us into the garden. We weren't able to have a ride on his back, but Kotori gave Pedigree a hug, so we counted that as a success. In the end, it was quite tough for her to roll around and play with him. Pedigree probably weighs more than Kotori. On top of that, he licked her all over her face and she looked like she was full of emotion. Go to Cafe Flags. Ageha reads out from the list. Where's that? It's over there, in Windy. I don't need to go there. Kotori, who had suddenly gone red, drew a line through that entry with a red pen. Ageha whispers into her ear. Is there someone you want to go there with? No, it's just your misunderstanding. Something was said to Kotori and now she's desperately trying to cover something up. What could it be? It's quite a grown-up cafe. It's run by a famous patissier and has delicious sweets. Do you want to go there? I said no, it was just a misunderstanding. I just heard someone talking about it at school, so I thought it sounded good, that's all. Aha, she heard someone talking about it at school. Obwohl sie niemals mit anderen Menschen redet. Check. I didn't know about that kind of place. That kind of place? It's not just a normal cafe? It's aimed at couples, so there are tons of customers like that. The young women in Kasegaura go there on dates, so going there is kind of a status symbol. I really didn't know about it. Kotori points at me. She's strongly denying it, but it's not like I really have any suspicions about it. Why don't you go with Aoi? What are you talking about? I didn't write anything about that. Kotori had gone red and was looking down. Well, I don't mind. Is that place expensive? The cakes are about 800 yen per piece. The tea is about the same price. 6 Euro. That is a little steep. Yeah. Thinking back to you, 2,980 yen per 100 gram meat. The homemade... I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's one of the most popular things on the menu, and it's really delicious apparently. That's 1,300 yen. For one cake? No, you silly. A piece of cake. I guess it is in the same place as the supermarket that sells high-grade marbled meat for 2,980 yen for 100 grams. Yeah, man. For doing the work of the dorm mother, I can get a small allowance from my mom, so... Warte, die bezahlt ihr nicht mal richtig? So... Next month will be okay. I just told you, I don't need to go. I just heard from someone that it's a trendy shop that sells delicious cakes and tea. As for going there on a date with a boy, I never said I wanted to do that. I never said it. It must be important because she said it twice. I was overwhelmed by her vigor and nodded in agreement without saying anything. Alright, that's the end of that conversation. As she one-sidedly dropped that subject, she used the pen to thoroughly blot out that entry. There we go. It might have bled through to the other side of the page. Oh, you look a little disappointed, don't you? Huh? No, I don't. You have a sweet tooth, don't you? Ah, that's what you mean. Yeah. I wouldn't get disappointed about something like that. Besides, did I really look disappointed? Ageha cleared away the lunch boxes and opened a bag of snacks. We bought a lot because it felt like we were going on an excursion. While Ageha eats some Pretch snacks? She takes another look at the notebook after Kotori had finished blotting it out. Speaking of which, we were in the middle of talking about what to do next. Dann bleibt jetzt noch eine übrig, oder? Hey, what's that? Ageha was looking at the entry at the number 1 spot on the list. It was written much bigger than the other entries. I want to pass through the passage of cloud. Ah, richtig! Das zweite Kanji, was da stand, heißt hallway. Yeah, I thought that was quite mysterious too. What is that? I don't know. What do you mean, you don't know? I'm not the one who wrote this. Oh, answered Kotori while crunching the Pretch snacks that Ageha had given her. Now that she mentions it, the handwriting is different. Eat as much Haagen-Dazs as I want, and so on, are written in nice uniform writing. Compared to the meticulously neat handwriting I want to pass through the passage of cloud, was written in a way that seemed bold and spirited. So, who wrote it? The owner of the notebook, who was already written in here when I found it. There are a few entries written in this unbridled fashion, and below other neatly written entries. Kotori had added to it, continuing from what someone else had written. You found it? What do you mean? I found it in my room when I came to Flying Fish Manor. It was hidden in a gap between the shelves. So, this isn't your notebook then? That's right, maybe it's the diary of someone who lived there before. When she says that it's a diary, I feel hesitant to just go ahead and open it. Had Kotori read it? Does that mean you continue to write in someone's diary? Without thinking, Ageha and I both made a face like, why? While Kotori remained quiet. I don't think that is because it would be a shame to waste the unused pages. Ein Schluck Wasser. The thing that I was more concerned with was, I want to pass through the passage of clouds? What is a passage of clouds? If it's clouds we're talking about. Kumo, I look up. There's a blue sky and a few clouds, and then a giant windmill. The windmill blades moving around slowly in the wind look a lot like the wings of a glider. Aha. Okay then, next is donate blood. Let's all go and have our blood taken. Nice. Aber wenn der Hund schwerer ist als Kotori, dann wiegt sie wahrscheinlich zu wenig, um Blut abnehmen zu lassen. Blut zu spenden. Phew. That last one was a bit of a toughie. My eyes are still flickering. The last thing we did was complete Lady and Silver Gun. Is that a game? The final entry on the list. If you're wondering what that is, it's a shoot 'em up game, and until just now we were at the video game arcade where we finally completed it by repeatedly using continues and taking turns. Because it was so hard, it made getting to the ending all the more impressive. Wow, it's a real masterpiece, isn't it? I'm no good at shoot 'em ups. The best of this game was Ageha, then Kotori. Ah, der Junge ist natürlich kein Gamer. It seemed that Kotori had played it from time to time when she skipped school before. She must have gotten mad with the incredible difficulty of the game and said, "One day I will complete this game," and added that entry to the notebook, it seems. We had to spend 3,000 yen to complete it. Ja, 25 Euro losgeworden. Does that mean we've cleared everything on the list? Yeah. We'd also finished the entries that Kotori hadn't written while we were at it. The only one left was to pass through the passage of clouds. Möchte sie das denn wirklich machen, und einfach nur so vorher rumstehen? Since we didn't know what that meant, we had virtually cleared the whole list. Now that we've finished it, doesn't it feel like it all ended a bit too quickly? I'm glad we finished before dinner. Haha, you're right. If we want to hang out, we should do it again some other day. What's up? Nothing. Kotori's expression seems dark. The same as Ageha, it looks like she feels unexpectedly disappointed now that it's all over. Like it wasn't enough. Alright, I'm hungry. I think I'd better head back now. Hopefully your mom won't find out about this. It's okay, our homeroom teacher isn't that diligent. But Hotaru is quite serious. If she realizes that you hadn't gone to school, she might tell your mom, right? If that happens, I'm taking you down with me. What? How could you? Are you gonna tell on me? It's been 5 years. You should go and get a kick in the butt from my mom, she said jokingly and turned to face Kotori. Thanks for today. Thanks to you, Kotori. I had a really good time. Yeah. Okay, see you tomorrow, she said with a smile and turned to leave. With a spring in her step, she walked up the gentle slope. Ah. Kotori went to say something, so Ageha stopped walking. Kotori looked down and faltered as she spoke. This time she looked like she was about to cry. Ageha waited for a little while for Kotori to open her mouth. Patiently. However, Kotori didn't say anymore. Hey, Kotori. The truth is, I came round today because I had something I wanted to talk to you about. Something you wanted to talk to me about? Let's be in the soaring club together. I heard it from Aoi. You know a lot about gliders, don't you? You always had fun when you went to the garage, didn't you? If we're in the club together, it would definitely be great fun. Every day would be like today, I'm sure of it. Don't you think? Ageha closed her mouth and waited for a reply. There was no mistake that Kotori was in two minds. She was clearly interested in gliders, so I think she would actually really like to join the soaring club. That's why now she might be able to express those feelings. I said I wouldn't do it, didn't I? But why? Just because. It's got nothing to do with you. Ageha's expression dropped at Kotori's blunt refusal. Why did you have to say it like that, I wonder? Because you're sticking your nose in. If you feel this way, don't you think that's why you don't get involved in class? This time Kotori seemed irritated by Ageha's remark. Well, excuse me for not getting more involved. I don't go kissing up to be everyone's friends like a certain somebody, that's all. Kissing up to people? Hold it, calm down, both of you. Why are you arguing all of a sudden? I step in so they can't ignore me. After we had such a fun day, let's just cut it. Whoa! Ageha pushed me aside like I was in her way. It's no good, it looks like she's quite pissed off about the kissing up comment. I don't agree with the way everyone has behaved recently. Of course you would feel angry at them for speaking to you like that. However, I also think that you have some negative points. Like what? See, that's what I mean. Ageha pointed her finger at Kotori's face as if to say, there, irrefutable evidence. You're always so, how should I say, defiant. That's why everyone misunderstands you. Like how we were hanging out today, couldn't you have opened up a little? Thank you for your kindness, I never asked for it though. You didn't have to say it like that. You're really pissing me off. You really are kind. I know all about it. The reason why you've been speaking to me so much is because our teacher asked you to. Faltering for more from hearing Kotori's words, Ageha stayed tight-lipped. Her cheeks went red. What's the reason why you're being kind to me? Because you feel sorry for me? I'm sick of being treated like that. Kotori told her and turned her wheelchair sideways. Goodbye. Hey. With that, she left by herself. Ageha. It's fine. What she said, it's all true. But that's not the reason why you did it though, is it? Aren't you also being misunderstood? I'm sorry. I'll go now. Ageha this time, looking like she didn't want to talk, with trembling shoulders climbed the gentle slope. I watched her from behind as she left and then hurried back to the dormitory. Kotori! Hey, Kotori! Quack, quack! Hat came out as if to protest about the noise. Hey, is your buddy in there? Quack! Get out of the way, will you? I move Hat out of the way and take a peek into Kotori's room through the duck door. Damn, Hat's in the way, I can't see. Hey, you mustn't do that. Ah, Kanako. Has she come back yet? It looks like she's still not back. Did something happen? Yeah, kind of. Can I ask you to prepare dinner? Hmm? Me? Please? You're joking. I can't do that. Well, you're the one who asked me. Don't blame me for whatever happens. I've had it with all of them. I've washed my hands off all of them. That's not what it looks like, though. I call out to her, but without surprise. Kotori looks at me for a moment, before quickly looking back at the lake. At night, the lake looks like a vast black mass of darkness lying sideways. On the other side is Windmill Hill, which looks beautiful when illuminated. Since she hadn't come back to the dormitory, I guessed that she might be here, and this is where I found her. What are you doing here? A self-assessment? I say it in a light-hearted way, but she doesn't answer. Let's go back. It's almost time for dinner. Kotori shook her head. You can't stay here, can you? No way. I don't want to go back. Why not? I don't want today to end. She mumbled quietly as her cheeks quivered for a moment. What do you mean? If I go back to my room, it will all be over. Today was so much fun. I don't want it to end. It sounded like she was getting tearful. It's been so long since I spent time with friends like this. Kotori. Even so, it ended with an argument. Yes, that's true. You can't round off a fun day with an argument. For me too, today was an unbelievably fun day. It was like going back to when I was a kid, playing stupid pranks from the morning until sunset. Right now, the thing that makes me feel a little pleased is the fact that I know that Kotori feels the same way. About Ageha, I didn't see the things that happened in the class, so I can't really say, but she's a simple person, so I don't think she would have done what the teacher asked if she didn't want to. Yeah. However, even if she hadn't been asked, she's the type who would just do it anyway. That sometimes causes problems, though, right? I said jokingly, and Kotori smiled just a little. Yeah, I know. And today she wasn't asked to, but she skipped school with us, didn't she? That was the first time she had skipped school, and it only stuck with us because that's how things turned out. She's not a bad person. Maybe she really thinks that she wants to be your friend, that's what I think. Even Ageha wouldn't go this far just for the sake of being kind. Es hört sich bei denen an, als wäre being kind schlecht. My legs became like this 2 years ago. I was in an accident when I was on vacation. Until then I was just like you and her, walking around, running. I had lots of friends and I was in a sports club. I played volleyball. Really? I imagined Kotori jumping up from the floor and launching an attack on the opponent's court. No doubts about it, she would have been brilliant. Spectacular. Then my legs were injured in the accident and now I wouldn't be able to live without a wheelchair. The school I went to didn't have any elevators and there were steps all around the school. A step of as little as 5 centimeters is a huge obstacle for a wheelchair. Even going to school became a huge problem. The life I had before the accident, going to eat hamburgers with everyone after school, going to buy clothes. Those things that most people take for granted, I couldn't do a single one of them. Ich merke gerade, ich glaube der Language Patch hat einfach nicht funktioniert. Die haben nämlich einfach Hamburgers aus Dingen gemacht, die bestimmt nicht Hamburgers sein sollten. Verdammt. Das heißt, dass ein Teil der Story ziemlich gebutchert wird durch die Zensur. Ich weiß leider nicht welche. Ich habe es nur gelesen vorher. Oh well. Those things that most people take for granted. I couldn't do a single one of them. Oops, falsche Taste. When all of my friends said I was so close to realized, everyone kept their distance. I guess that's obvious, because we couldn't hang out together. That can't be true. If they were your friends, they wouldn't care. They can still hang out with you. Saying that might just be oversimplifying things, though. At the very least, that is her actual experience of it. One time in the homeroom, the teacher noticed that I was isolated from the others and said this. Kotori has been through so much. Let's all try to get along with her. I was really shocked. I realized exactly the predicament I was in. After that, I secretly cried by myself. I felt so frustrated, so pathetic. To have everyone being so careful around me, I hated it, but there was nothing I could do. Kotori's hands were trembling as she held on to the hem of her skirt. It looked like the frustration of that time had come back to haunt her. That's why I came here. The school has full wheelchair access, so I could go there by myself without inconveniencing anyone. At our school, Kotori can go there by herself and can get into and out of the classroom without anyone's help. But it was no good. A place like school, you can't just go there all by yourself. It's not just a physical problem. It's a social environment, and you can't get by without being involved with other people. As well as that is the danger that I might get a puncture and won't be able to move, or that I can't get into the bath by myself. I'm just so tired of it all. She murmured as she spoke and looked across the windmill hill on the other bank. The composed forms of the giant windmills seemed to have a calming effect on her. That would be pretty tiring, wouldn't it? It is, you know. Don't you think that I've tried really hard until now? I do. I agreed from the bottom of my heart. I can't just say something simple like, try even harder. Is the search for new members for the soaring club going well? It looks like we might be able to do something. I just hope we make it in time, though. I see. That's good. That weird senior, she's been doing her best all by herself this whole time, hasn't she? It would be terrible for her to have to stop halfway, wouldn't it? I would like to try flying one day too, in that glider. Kotori narrows her eyes as she speaks. She looks across to the sky above Windmill Hill. Hey you, don't really want to quit school, do you? That's not it. My mom and dad are worried about me too. If I were to quit school and go back home, they would be pleased. Kotori smiled when she said that, but to me it looked like she was forcing herself to smile. I sat next to Kotori and just like her looked at the view of the opposite bank. Before I came back to Kasegahura, I was in the cycle racing club at a school really far from here. When I started to speak, she glanced at me and didn't say anything while she listened to me. There was a sports scholarship for that too, you know. I trained desperately every day so that I would be exempt from paying tuition fees and in order to win races. The practice was seriously tough, but riding the bike felt good, so I didn't really feel like such hard work. Bicycle road races are incredibly tiring. In a big competition you cycle 100 kilometers in one day. 100 kilometers? That's crazy. It is, isn't it? Also, you have to go over hills on the way. Hill climbing is complete hell, while climbing I always wanted to give up. But after climbing it, cycling down the hill feels amazing. Really? I couldn't tell if Kotori was impressed or envious when she responded. That part is fun, so that's why I thought I'd try racing. In one competition I came third. That's great. Was that a national competition? Or not with pride? Actually, that is one of the few things that I can be proud of. Anchan came to watch. I was really happy about that. But then I got greedy. In the first race of the second year, I had an accident. While in the middle of the downhill section, I was involved with another bike that had fallen down, of all things. In that situation, I was competing with several other bikes. I was in a hurry to get to the front, and got too close to another bike. Then the accident occurred. The other bike suddenly lost its balance and I got tangled up with it and hit the asphalt while traveling at high speed. With a bitter smile, I roll up the leg of my pants on the right leg and show her. With that accident, my life as a racer ended all too sudden. The scar from the surgery is still fresh. Kotori looked at it and seemed to be lost for words. If it were her, she would be able to say that she got away with just this scar. With rehabilitation, I was able to walk again, and now I have no problems with everyday life, and the doctors said so too. But I can't ride a bike anymore. Is that the reason why you quit your previous school? I nod quietly. I was a scholarship student, so it was hard for me to be there after I withdrew from school, but I could have stayed there. However, my friends from the cycle racing club were there, and I would watch them practicing. While I watched them doing their best from afar, I was unable to live a normal life. My leg recovered after the rehabilitation, but instead I felt really depressed. I thought that it would have been better if I couldn't move at all, because I could have just given up on it. It was painful and difficult, and I didn't know how to handle all of my unfocused thoughts. That's why I came back. I ran away back to my hometown. Somehow I felt a sense of relief, and I wrapped the story. Now that I think about it, this is the first time I've spoken to Kotori about this. I haven't even confided in Ageha and the others about this. Sometimes we feel like running away, right? There are more hardships in life than things that we can enjoy. The things that Kotori says to comfort me are actually really pessimistic. That must be how she really feels. However, I didn't tell her this because I wanted to be comforted. There are still things I want to say. There are some things that I realized from running away. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere left to run to. It's like a dead end, but I cannot see the way forward either. There's a way. For you, there are other ways. I thought I would regret it. Running away, I mean. But it wasn't like that. My hometown is the same as it always was. It kindly welcomed me back. That's good, isn't it? That makes it even worse. The warmth of my hometown, it makes me forget my pain and impatience. It feels like I'm gradually being paralyzed. The pain, the importance of the things I lost, I'm forgetting them, little by little. If I lose that, will I still be me? You have something. The glider. Yeah. I'm excited to think I could fly in it. I envision myself flying through the air as I look to the night sky. After that, Kotori looks down. Do you have something like that? Something ahead of you, if you quit school and go back to your hometown. Kotori looked at me like she was in shock. She desperately tried to hold back the tears that were welling up and about to fall from her eyes. Don't say things like that. Something so cruel. Whether something lay ahead or not, I realized then that she had a deep conflict within, even more than I thought she had. You don't think there's anything ahead, do you? That's why if you have nothing left to do, everything is over? No, that was just for fun. If you want a bath, I'll help you get in. If you get a puncture, I'll fix it for you. I'll help you if you need it. So, a tear ran down Kotori's cheek, but it was only a single tear. I don't want to be any more of a burden than I already am. Give back my withdrawal notice. I went to get the withdrawal notice that I had stuck to the back of the drawer. So that's where you hid it. When I held the withdrawal notice in my hand, the terrible things that I had said to her came to the back of my mind. Do you have something like that? Something ahead of you if you quit school and go back to your hometown? I regret those words as I offer her the withdrawal notice. You dropped this, so I picked it up. Thanks. However, Kotori didn't take it straight away. For her to take that would be for her to decide her own future. But in the end, she reached out her hand. I quickly pulled it away and she seemed embarrassed. I'm not gonna do it. What? I'm not gonna give it back. I held onto it and left. Oh boy. Well, welcome back. Dinner's ready. It was very popular. We still have a whole pot left. How about it? It was very popular. We still have a whole pot left. Okay, Kanako. Doubt. I walk up beside Kanako as I make it look like I'm rummaging around the kitchen. What are you doing? Not long after, Kotori comes into the dining hall. Give my withdrawal notice back. Withdrawal notice? That's too bad. I've already hidden it somewhere else. What do you think you're doing? I won't accept it. Just give it another chance. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Feelings that the situation wasn't fair were bubbling up inside me. I know how Kotori feels. It must have been incredibly difficult, and it makes me feel a pain in my chest just imagining it. But it's only been 10 days since I came here. What? Krass. Es kommt mir irgendwie viel länger vor. Wobei eigentlich macht das Sinn. Das passt zu den Ereignissen. I feel like I want to do something for her, but isn't the time that I've been given too short? I get it. I'm just being nosy. I totally get it. Why are you talking to yourself? Give it back. It's mine. No way. If you want it back, look for it yourself. You're so mean. What happened to the sad feelings you had and the nice story that you were telling me just now? The hell if I know. You really are a meanie after all. I whistled badly and played dumb. Hey, Kanako. Yes? You saw where he hid it, didn't you? Where was it now? Even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you. Hey, if you weren't here, Kotori, I'd feel so sad. Kotori's face has gone red. Looks like her rage god has reached max. Idiot! Moron! Knucklehead! I can still quit school without it. Firing off a few parting shots, Kotori hurries out of the dining hall. Dinner's ready. You can heat it up in the microwave later. The door at the end of the hallway closed with a slam. So, where did you hide it? I pulled a piece of paper out from under my shirt. Not bad. Thanks for your help. The end of another chapter.